This is Space Invaders. Milestone number 1. I hit star. Okay, so it show up. So there's three different islands: the squid, the crab, and the octopus. So in total, 5 rows times 11 columns. It moves horizontally, left to right, right to left, and whenever they hit the boundaries, it goes down a little bit. So that's it, basic. And also, I keep the original TGA files. I haven't modified anything much. So you can see they actually change the colors, but it's good to debug with the animation sprite, which I have some problem before. Yeah, but I fix it. It takes a lot of time to finding something really subtle in the home program. Yeah. So now inside the game, so I just set the dimension of the frame to be 896 to 1024 with some black colors. So I initialize all of the manager: texture manager, image manager, sprite manager, sprite batch manager, timer manager, game manager, and proceed managers. So this is standard thing to do. I add the texture and the alien.tga from the resources file, and then I located the crab. Actually, inside the image, what I'm doing is I have another zoo factory. You just look up at the enum. So it look at the enum, and I hard code the screen coordinate and the size of the image inside the texture. So that's why I have the alphabet letter here. So for example, the alien ship, the spaceship, I should change the spaceship to be W. The crab, we have crab B and C. They just letter in the aliens.tga. Okay, yeah, just go back. And there's a sprite manager. Fire up the sprite, add them to the sprite batch. So in the end, when I call sprite batch manager.draw, it just goes through each of the sprite inside the sprite batch, and that's why. Yeah. So inside the sprite batch manager, let's see. So I create an iterator that goes through all of the patches, and each of the patches also have another iterator which goes through the sprite page, and the last mission is to code render on the sprite page. Yeah. Okay. And there's one thing about the one thing about a sprite batch manager is for the sprite batch. So I have the sprite batch which he derived from the D-Link, and inside the sprite batch it have the container. This container is inherited from the manager. So inside they have I use the list of D-Link to be also manage the sprite batch node. So the container will hold the each of these sprite batch nodes. So that's why I call this one sprite chain. Think about the chain. So whenever I want to do something, I just push down to the container and let it do the job. So see the sprite batch node, D-Link, and this one is only created by the container. So the container is another manager. So I have the D-Link which contain the manager, and then the manager contain the whole stuff of the sprite batch. So yeah, that's the logic. Doing this, I don't have to create different M link or S link and deal with all of the different classes, which do some. I think they do the same job. Um, so no big deal. Okay, and let me go back to the game class. So now the next one is the animation. So animation is from the command pattern. Uh, Let me go to the command pattern. Uh, do I have the command pattern? Oh, 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 oh. Where's the command? Yeah. Hold on. I know it's a command pattern, but yeah. Let me go to definition. Okay. This is the abstract command. So the sprite animation will derive from this one and implement the execute method. Now go back to the animation sprite. The animation sprite derived from the abstract and it holds the reference of the sprite node or maybe sprite object. And this one also a list. So I just use the d-link as a list. I just have the attach method. The most important thing is the execute. When it calls the execute, it swap the image, the sprite object, and after it finish, it add back the task to the timer manager. So we should know how to handle this one. Yeah. So for the animation, I have the uh, animation sprite, and then I add two images. So it's the same with the suite, the octopus. And you see the next one is the grid. The grid is so I implement using the composite pattern instead of using the PCS3, the PCS3, which take me quite a lot of time to go through. I think I better use the PCS3, but for some reason I choose this one. So yeah, it's already there. I have to leave it there. I provide the grid manager. It's kind of the singleton manager which can be used across different classes. The only purpose I think to maybe in the future I have different grid, maybe the shield. Probably I may use a grid manager as something add on to the future. But right now, the only purpose is to set the ones. So this is um, the left one, and this one is the right ones. Maybe later on it can be an object, so much better to hard code the coordinate. So the composite, the first composite I call the grid. So the grid line the group roots of the trees when you use the PCS tree. Um, it's only different that I just add the known object because I don't know what the grid actually do. So each of the suite is the suite is also a composite, but then inside the composite will be a leaf, which is let's see this is the leaf of the suite, and I just add branches to the suite. So let's go to the composite, the component, yeah, composite component, composite pattern. So this is the abstract component class. I add the unit ID really don't know much of the usage, but maybe it's good for me to debug. That's it. And this one is the monostate. Um, so yeah, a component have the ability to connect itself, so it come in handy when I use a composite. Uh, I know this is not very good implementation, uh, but it works like the composite pattern. So yeah, let's go to the composite. For this composite pattern, they this one inherit from the component, and then each of the component have a list of components. So that's why I have the head list over here, and you know the component have the ability to connect to each component. So that's why I have the head list inside the composite. Yeah, this is the iterator. Or here is the add branches. Whenever I have the new composite or new list, it added to the component linked list. Yeah, for the notify, because right now I haven't done anything like collision. But when I do collision, definitely I need to implement this one. So this is just the skeleton right now. The same with the remove method. What else? I think I haven't mentioned about the factory. Yeah, I have the game object factory. Technically, it just take the game category, which can be grab, with octobus, and then the game object name. Yeah, so just give the squid, the crab, the octopus, and the grid. Each of these one is inherited from the game object. Let's go to the game object. Game object is just a wrapper class to the proceed sprite node. Um, so it have the proceed position of x and y, and it have the reference to the proceed node, or maybe it's a field of the game object also, yeah, because it's a wrapper class. Yeah. And this the grid is also the game object. Only different is, I have left total, which keep track of the left side and the right side. So in the move grid, I just keep adding the delta, and then when it hit the wall, I move. I change the direction of x coordinates, which is that's why it go in from the left to the right, and then from the right to the left, and the delta I just reduced by 10. Yeah, yeah, I think that's it for the first milestone. I did have a lot of trouble with the timer event, I think, because yeah, I think I haven't talked about this one. No, I talked about this one already. And just because the timer event with the mean priority queue, and I make some huge mistake inside of the update method. Yeah, so what happened before is every time I check for the event of trigger time, I pop out the task, and then it when I pop out the task, it's gone. And when I call process, it update new time, so the image doesn't change. That's why I have to implement the pick-min method, which allow me not to pop it out too soon. So otherwise, I will lose the current time. Yeah, it's really subtle, but for some reason I actually change a lot of stuff just because I think this may be wrong, but I go like 2 or 3 days trying to understand, and yeah, it's only take like 3 lines of code, but I actually take like a whole bunch of 100 lines of code and change it to something and still doesn't work. Yeah, I think that's it for the milestone number one. Thank you.